You stumbled into a show, probably not the show you were expecting, but stick around for them flying sword demos, them magic peaches, them old school rotoscoping magic powers, a peach dropping elixir everywhere, and them psychic kids raising Jason on Friday the 13th again. Oh, yeah, and a whole summer filled with horror movie reactions.
Crack open a cold box of wine or pour something cold on ice because it's the Binge-Watchers podcast.
This year's Summer Slash is cranking up the carnage with part 7s from iconic slasher franchises. From machete-wielding maniacs to dream-haunting boogeyman, we're going to dive into the sequels that refuse to quit slashing. So lock your doors and join us for part 7. Is that, 6, 7 on the hands? Yeah, alright. There we go. Alright. Home video headlines. What's new in the world of streaming TV, movies, and everything else? Stephen King's The Stand's going to return with a new movie from director Doug Liman. Listen, Doug Liman's alright. Whatever. We can rest assured he'll do something good with some Keen Sting material. However, Mick Garris did the 90s Stand miniseries TV show or whatever. And that's as good as it gets. I mean, because the book was written at a certain time. The technology was a certain way when it was made for TV. It made sense in translating the source material. Then they did another Stand miniseries for Paramount Plus, and of course it's Paramount Plus doing the new movie. But we don't need another movie. That's the thing. The original '90s miniseries is fine. It adapted the Stand and it was good. And it had Randall Flagg, who's like a variation of the Man in Black from the freaking Gunslinger stuff. Look that up. There's this whole Stephen King multiverse thing happening. But, if they tie it into the new Dark Tower stuff, if they're ever going to get to the Dark Tower movie or shows, it's kind of like world building. So maybe this is like their gateway point to try to get that stuff done. Who knows? So that's the positive spin on that. They remade Witchboard. Do you guys know what Witchboard is? It's like a sleazy, sexy 80s possessed titty romping occult movie. I think that's what it was. It was like a Ouija board that killed people. There was an actual witch, but it was a dude. Is that what's going on in that movie? Anyway, I can't remember. I might be getting some of them confused because I think there's more than one, but it's an unnecessary remake. That's the thing. It's a funny thing, But that's what's new in the world of horror. My Pet Monster is still a monstrous toy. They're cranking them out. If they're still selling the My Pet Monster toys from the 80s, they should give us a new show of that. If they're going to just go remake Happy on every IP imaginable, they should crank out like another. They did I remember they did like a TV pilot or like a cheap TV made for TV movie, that like they called airing when things aired, right? It's like pre-internet or like early internet, but things, were still on cable TV or broadcast TV through like the airwaves. Then, they had a My Pet Monster thing happening. Look up My Pet Monster. He's got a cool design. He's like purple and orange. He's got a scaly troll-like nose. He's like a goblin-like little dude, but he's pretty cool. And then the whole thing with the toys, he would break out of his monster cuffs and then be on the loose or whatever. And I don't know. Just got up to shenanigans. But anyway, it's definitely a millennial thing. I don't know if it's a Gen Zer toy, but it's got a nostalgia feature that's off the charts. But if they're gonna do the toys, if they're still trying to keep that brand alive, to resonate with new kids who could potentially buy a My Pet Monster, you'd think the marketing guys or advertising, whoever owns that brand or whatever, would be like, okay, let's get this, let's make a new cartoon, with Netflix or Amazon Prime or something. Anyway, are kids even watching cartoons anymore? Maybe that's what the problem is. They're like, oh, just make a My Pet Monster YouTube channel or whatever. Who knows? The movie of the week. All right, here we go. Peach Boy joins Tiny Cock, Tiny Monkey, and Tiny Dog to rescue the princess from King Devil in Child of Peach from 1987. Listen, this is a wild Taiwanese movie loosely inspired by the Japanese folklore hero Momotaro. And it serves up some like Power Ranger style bad guys rocking colorful wigs, epic fantasy fights, and moments you're not going to forget, like battling trident wielding shark people or shark demon men. I don't know. And along the way, Peach Kid, he teams up with a guy who's like he's like Night Melon, but with a K, so he's like Melon Knight, like the Melon Knight. So anyway, Melon, he's like this beefed up dude, serious muscle, kind of like everybody in here is kind of like demigod status, except for the villagers that raised the Peach Kid, kind of like Superman Clark Kent thing. Although everybody knows he's the Peach Kid, there's no secret identity. I'm just saying like how you meet like a farming villager mom and dad, and they raise him like the foster parents because his real parents are already killed, like in a galactic battle type style deal. Anyway, I'm getting way off point. Let me go back. Anyway, so he's got the meets up with the Melon Knight, and then you got the Guardian Angels of Peach Garden, 3 superpowered kids who can transform into a bird, a gibbon, and a dog. Their names, like I said earlier, Tiny Cock, Tiny Monkey, and Tiny Dog. Yeah, you heard it right. It's as bonkers as it sounds, and it's awesome. If you like this movie, you could try other things like Kung Fu Wonder Child or Magic Warriors. I think it's mostly the same cast, the same style and tone, and crazy magic stuff is happening. All right, we'll be right back with our favorite bits from our movie of the week, Child of Peach from 1987, right after these messages. What are tonight's messages? Now, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Johnny Spoiler socials, but you can grab my links. They're filled with affiliate links, promo codes, partnership things, where, you redeem coupons and get these promo codes for stuff like free Hulu. How about 30 days if you're a movie fan, you like to binge stuff, you're watching adult animation, or you're getting ready for the new Always Sunny in Philadelphia season, whatever it is, into the, season 17 or something like that? Anyway, we got new Sunny on the way, dropping this summer, so you might want to get yourself a month free of Hulu. Oh, Welcome to Wrexham has a new season too. I don't know if you're tired of that or not, but if you want to kick it around football, European style, watch that docu-series on Hulu, get 30 days free, grab my AF link, my partner link, in my Johnny Spoiler links. I mean, I'll put it up. It'll be everywhere. I don't know, how you're consuming this. If you're watching this, it'll be in the description. If you're listening to it, it'll be somewhere in the show notes. Anyway, all right. What else is going on? Oh, Ride One Up is the best value electric bike on the market. Shift into their summer deal with up to $400 off. So partner up with me. Grab my partner link. I think my code gives you a redeemable offer. So grab that. There's a Ride One Up link in my show notes or in my link tree. I got a whole plant. I planted all my links in my freaking influencer content creator garden, and they grew. And now you can just grab a branch and eat that fruit, baby. Boom, boom. All right. Back to the show already in progress with our favorite bits from this movie called Child of Peach from 1987. All right. Restore it. Restore it with English dubs. Dub this shit. You have to seek this out. It's like on the Internet Movie Archives or internetarchives.org. There's a YouTube rip of it. But come on. Criterion. Era Video. Get on this and make us a 4K. In English, please. The subtitles are hard to read because they're white on mostly white and yellow backgrounds, and they kind of bleed into all the firework effects in the movie, and so every once in a while you can't read a sentence or two, but it's also like a copy of a copy of a copy is what's left to watch online. So yeah, the subtitles are kind of getting blurry as they make a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. Anyway. Yeah, so that'd be my beef, is like, it's a good movie. I thought I knew what movies were until I saw Child of Peach. I had no idea what movies were until I saw this movie. And I want everybody to experience it, but there's no way to get it. So you'd have to go digging online, or, like I said, call up your movie senators and be like, hey, man, forget everything else that's going on in the economy. Just get us a 4K English dub of The Child of Peach from 1987, and we'll be happy populace. We'll go back to ignoring everything that's going on around us. Anyway, I mean, I don't know. I'm not waxing political. I'm just trying to make extra jokes to convince people to seek out this movie, and then also have some kind of company get behind it and be like, oh yeah, Asian cult cinema, we should get this freaking cult action hero epic fantasy strange movie and kick it out there, you know? It's on par with like Masters of the Universe or like Neverending Story or, you know, any of those types, right? All right, where are we at? I'm trying not to do tangents on this one. I got my notes planned, I got my show planned, and know what I'm talking about, and I'm still wandering a little bit, but hopefully it's entertainment, baby. All right. This movie has so much good stuff in it, you kind of get a sensory overload. Watching it made me feel like I was eating an edible and tripping balls. There's meditation with flying swords, like literally the guy's meditating and his magic swords are flying through the air as he concentrates during his meditation. Flying sword meditation. Exactly what it sounds like is what it is, and it's incredible. The magic kids are turning into animals and using magic to do magic chores. You got a Peach with a big butt dripping magic milk on everyone to drink it up and get magic powers. It actually pees on somebody at one point. It's got super cool, colorful, technicolor, rotoscoped animated effects. I mean, if you watch any movie from like the 60s through the end of the 80s, the computer stuff wasn't really computer. It was like they were drawing animated cells on top of the film, and so it has like an electric look, but also looks hand-drawn like a magic marker colored pencil lighting effect. I don't even know how to describe it because they don't do it anymore, but at the time, it was effing amazing. All right. Yeah. And we got the knight named Melon, a melon knight. Basically his name is Watermelon, except it's not watermelon because it's an Asian melon. It's probably honeydew, right? Some kind of honey melon, but just M-E-L-O-N is the translation. He's a melon knight. He's kind of a melon-looking dude, but he's hilarious. He's got like kind of powers. At one point, he's fighting a demon named Hercules. Like they're like, oh, we have a Hercules, but it's a bad guy. You know, whatever. Have two myths go at each other. King Devil is a great villain. I mean, this is Darth Vader level shit, guys. I mean, but he's got like a fiery red hair. He's got pale skin. He's got vampire teeth, but he has demonic powers. But he looks like a Skeletor type or a Darth Vader type or a freaking Freddy Krueger type. He's like a demon in samurai armor. It's kind of cool. Let's see. Oh, and then he's after a relic called the Sword of the Sun, like the magic sword in this movie. It's as powerful as like a nuclear weapon. Is just called the Sword of the Sun. I thought that was a nice element. Like, you never know what the magic sword is going to be called, but just calling it the Sword of the Sun, and like when he removes it from the Himalayas, like everything goes to winter and goes to nuclear winter, kind of. Interesting. And all the little people on the Peach Mountain are like, oh, we're dead now. And then like even the people on the Bad Island, like Monster Island or Devil Island or Demon Island or whatever, they're like half frozen because they're like, oh, we need new life. We got to steal it from the good people and take all their energy. You know, there's like a grandma witch on that island. Anyway, again, like I said, so much good stuff in this movie. Love the Sword of the Sun, love the King Devil, love the colors and the special effects. Oh, then Peach Boy and his angels, they power up into a Peach. Like the Peach turns into like a Peach Golem. Golem, I mean like robot android, like, you know, puppet, like a thing that's controlled by magical powers that, you know, is like there. It's like a giant Peach guy. Him and the other guys turn into light and float into their Power Ranger style inside to the Peach and control it like you're having like some kind of Power Ranger Zord type battle. Speaking of magic things, we have a way to rate movies on here that feels like magic. Binge now, binge later, binge never. Watch it now. Watch it eventually. Don't waste your time. That's how it breaks down. How do we rate this? Binge now. Like I said, I thought I knew a thing or two about movies, having watched a few thousand of them, but this lit me up like nothing else. I want everybody to seek it out. All right, let's go. Binge now. All right, solid binge now. Like, I'm not even lying. I'm not pulling the threads, you know? I'm not getting paid to endorse this movie from the 80s. Watch it. It's just a fun ride. Entertainment at its maximum. All right. I would love to see, like, more. I mean, we've already mentioned remakes on this episode, like, a handful of times, but, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they say Tarantino, like, takes a lot of inspiration from Asian crime movies and then puts them into his movies, and the American audience has no idea. I mean, you could just take the freaking Child of Peach and be like, who's seen Child of Peach? I don't know, but have you seen this crazy Peach robot movie that freaking Zack Snyder just kicked out? Oh my gosh. Anyway, like if they adapted it for American audiences into an American movie, why not? Who knows? Fan service. If the fans are chiming in, what are they squawking about? Gareth watched our Highlander anime episode and said, "Hey Johnny, been listening to Binge-Watchers podcast. Cool name, BTW. Just finished your Highlander anime episode. I gotta say, your mic game is strong, you're fire, and the insights are gold." Thanks, Gareth. You got my nipples hard on that one. Staff picks. If you're not watching the movie of the week, can we recommend a different movie or show? Actually, the first sequel in our Part 7 lineup is Friday the 13th, Part 7, New Blood. Carrie, Firestarter, it has that late 80s psychic hype. I find this one underwhelming. I appreciate that it has Jason Prime. Who do I call Jason Prime? Ken Hodder. Ken Hodder gave us kind of like a personality through the mask. He's the one that embodied kind of like pantomime style, mime style. He did the best acting as Jason and made Jason a real character on screen, brought it to life, and was acting through the mask. So I call Ken Hodder Jason Prime, basically. Terry Kisser, I don't know how you say it. I think he's the guy from Weekend at Bernie's. He plays the psychiatrist in here who's trying to either escalate or de-escalate the girl's psychic powers. Unclear. He's definitely pushing her to her limits and kind of like is like, Jason, what's a Jason? I don't believe that. Anyway, he pops up in there in the cast. Let's see. Oh, the opening is like a TV commercial style recap of the first parts, like the first 6 movies. And it's done by Walt Gurney, who played Crazy Ralph. Who's like this Crazy Ralph. I don't know. I think he's like a hobo that knows the legend of Crystal Lake or something like that and warns the teenagers in Part 1 and Part 2. And then he comes back to do the voiceover narration for like the intro to this movie. Director John Carl Buechler, I'm probably mispronouncing everybody's names. Anyway, John Carl, the director, said that he had fumed many times over the years about the number of edits required by the MPAA to avoid a X rating. The film was submitted 9 times to the MPAA, that's the Motion Picture Association of America, before it got its R rating. And it's actually, according to IMDb, it's the most censored Friday the 13th movie. I mean, this director actually is a big name in the horror game. He does a lot of special effects. He directed Cellar Dweller, Troll, and Dungeon Master as well. The film was originally going to bring in the horror confrontation between horror icons Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger together on screen for the first time. However, the deal fell apart between Paramount and New Line. They couldn't agree at the time, and so we wouldn't see that fight till much later. My favorite Fridays, I think we've said this, my favorite Friday the 13th, there's another episode from, is it last summer that I ranked all the Jason movies? I don't know. Part 6, Jason Lives, and then Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, and Jason 10, also called Jason X, are my favorite Friday the 13th movies. By the way, you want some more trivia? Jason is actually owned separately in IP, intellectual property. His brand stands apart from Friday the 13th, so therefore you could make just a series of Jason movies and TV shows and cartoons separate from your Friday the 13th. And I don't know what they're doing with the new Crystal Lake. I think they're doing like an anthology show. I don't know if it's a prequel. They've talked about casting the mother, and I think they have Linda Cardellini or whatever the fuck that actor's name is, or the actress. She's gonna play the mom. And so what is it gonna be? Like the mom, all the mom's murders that she did, and maybe we'll finally meet Jason's dad. Who knows? But obviously, at some point, you want the honky-faced killer to show up, right? Or mask-wearing, Casey Jones style killer to show up. That's right. Yeah, I'm referencing Ninja Turtles too, because he also wears a hockey mask. How can you not? You just think of all the hockey masks in TV and movies and equate him to Jason Voorhees, or do a comparison mentally quickly in your mind, Hey, listen, I often get to this point where I feel like I've told you all the good stuff I could tell you, and I don't want to ramble on too much. I got things to do. You can't stay here, but you don't have to go home. Go watch a movie somewhere. Bring some friends if you've gotten too scared. Believe it or not, we're just getting started over here. Up next, we got Bats. Lou Diamond Phillips in a horror movie called Bats, which I think might have its own sequel, but the sequel probably sucks and he's not in it, but it's called Bats, B-A-T-S. is the name of the first one in the Bats movie series. Yeah, it's about bats. It's got Lou Diamond Phillips. You know him? Look him up. I don't know. Can you? Do you know Google? Bing? Yahoo? What do you got out there for your search engines? ChatGPT? Ask him about Lou Diamond Phillips. Him. I just applied a sexuality and a gender to a ChatGPT. Ask it what its gender is or what its pronouns are. Let's find out. Let's find out what the AI. Maybe it made up its own. Who knows? Ask it what its favorite Friday the 13th movie is. Those are some funny questions. I actually might ask that because I'm just curious to what the answers will come back as. Anyway, like I said, go and watch some horror movies with your friends. Up next, we'll be doing Bats, and then we're going to do Halloween H20 20 years later just because it's the 7th Halloween movie. Yeah, there's like 4 Halloween series that branch off from each other. I know that. And they've rewritten a sequel to the original 3 times. And there's a whole other universe with the Rob Zombie version. I get it. However, it's just part 7. Whatever the 7th movie in a horror movie series is what's being covered this year. What we're doing over here for Summer Slasher movies, part 7s. You get it? This is the 7th year we've done this, and so we're doing part 7s. It's kind of a gimmick. Have you figured it out yet? All right. So, we're going to do the 7th movie released for the Halloween movies, as well as talk about Bats. And it's the part 7, Summer Slasher movies. Let's go!